Hey, hey, Cancer! Happy December and happy holidays! Yay! So happy to have you back. Or if this is the first time we're meeting, hey, I'm Madeline. Very excited to read for you, Cancer. Spirit had a really interesting channeled message for you. So before we get into your cards, Spirit is asking you to, they're giving you some strange but useful instructions. Delight in finding out where you get stuck. Weird, right? Let me explain. When you encounter, and I only say when because we're human, and even in this lovely holiday season, we all know that we're going to encounter, conflict or a little bit of friction here and there, even within ourselves. And especially, honestly, within ourselves. That's actually what Spirit is saying, so I'm just going to hammer that home. And to delight in meeting those moments when we're like, oh my God, I feel really jealous, or oh my God, I feel really fearful, or like anxious about something. Why would I feel joyful about that? Why would I be delighted to discover where I'm getting stuck on something or someone or whatever? Because that's where the fucking magic is. For example, if you feel a twinge of envy, you see somebody out there in the world kicking ass, doing something really cool, and you feel a twinge of envy, instead of being like, oh God, envy, like getting stuck on level 1 or even level 2 of like, oh, I'm such a horrible person, I'm feeling envy right now. Rather than that, being like, well, I wasn't expecting this. Like, what is this about? And kind of interviewing that feeling and maybe feeling like, well, wow, I guess I kind of want to be doing something that this person is doing. They are really kicking ass at this, and maybe I want to publish a book, or maybe I want to da-da-da-da-da-da. And instead of taking it as a hit, taking it as like an intuitive hit. That's how Spirit's putting it. Like, I'm not going to take it like a hit. I'm going to take it as like, oh, hit, that hit something. That's good. Like, what is this? There's something here for me, including if it's like, oh, this makes me feel anxious. Okay, what is it that's happening right now that's making me feel anxious? Is it what this person just said? Is that I'm in a loud place? Da-da-da-da-da. What are my triggers? Triggers are teachers. And when we let them be. And you're being encouraged to do that this month. You're being encouraged to delight in where you get stuck. Okay, that's exactly how they put it. So having said that, let's get into your cards and see how this message plays with them. Oh, well, there's that stuck feeling right up front. We're going to talk about it. Wow. Yay. Well, that's what we like to see. Hell yeah. Wow. Well, 'tis the season. We three kings. Okay. I need one more. We're clarifying in real time here, Cancer. Spirit. Can you tell me a little more about this future? Wow. Spirit just said, becoming more of yourself. This is the Cancer card. If you are not familiar, astrologically speaking, in tarot, this is you. Becoming more of you. And you are already showing up pretty fantastically right over the top of your spread, Cancer, as you would guess, a King of Cups. And you can identify any which way gender-wise. To come through as a king comes through as indicates that someone is a master of their craft, is at the top of their game in some way. So it's interesting to me that Spirit is like, delight in where you get stuck. Well, you might feel a little stuck in your head this month. You might feel a little bit like, how do I move forward? Some of you, it may even be, I want to give you a lot of love and a lot of reassurance, because the Nine of Swords is a troubling, it's a mentally troubled card. It's like, I'm not sleeping well, I'm having bad dreams, like I'm anxious and I'm afraid. Like I feel overwhelmed with a little bit of fear. I want to validate your fear and your feelings, Cancer, but I also want to tell you that there is a light coming into your life this month. The Page of Wands is at the center of your reading. The Page of Wands is a message and a messenger. And wands are fire, brightness, inspiration. And you might be feeling, some of you, this is an opportunity that feels extremely challenging, and maybe you feel a little unworthy or afraid that you're not able to like fulfill the role that is going to be asked of you. I have to say, I think you're worthy. I think you're worthy. I want to validate your fear and your feelings. I'm not trying to just swish past them. But I have to say, looking at these cards, they don't seem to be particularly well-founded. You might be, and maybe Cancer, some of you might have Leo placements, because Spirit is giving me a similar message right now, that the game of I'm the worst and I'm not good enough is just as much an ego game as I'm the best and nobody can beat me and I'm amazing. The two extremes, both fucking useless, especially when it comes to getting just joy, or getting something that we really want to get done. No, I'm gonna quote Detox here for my drag queen fans, like, hey, I ain't the best, but I ain't the worst. Like, that's a pretty fucking solid, way to go into it. Like, I don't have to be perfect. I just have to be. It doesn't have to go perfectly, but I want to go. And I feel like that's important, Cancer. For you, you've made progress already. You have the Knight of Pentacles in the past, meaning slow, steady, effortful progress. You've put in the work. That's part of why you should feel a little bit more relaxed and soothed and less upset with yourself. Like, a lot of you have done the training or the schooling or just the nose to the grindstone day after day after day. I show up and I work at this and I hammer away at this. There is something coming in this month that feels like a big opportunity. A message, a reach out, an invitation that I feel like you should accept. Some of you might be like, oh, do you want to come on my podcast? Or hey, come over and have, join me, meet my friends at this party. Because these three kings, man, you are three kings and a page. You're surrounded. There's a lot of people here and a lot of people on your side and in your ear, okay? The King of Pentacles is sitting at the bottom of your reading. This is someone in your life who has a very different attitude from you. You know, King of Cups, right? So the King of Emotions, the wounded healer, the natural psychologist, the advice giver. You know, you're probably again, doesn't matter gender-wise, the king-queen thing has nothing to do with it. The King of Cups has a very maternal energy. I can handle your emotions. I'm not afraid. It doesn't freak me out if you start crying. I'm just looking through my bag for tissues. You know what I'm saying? There is somebody who is a King of Pentacles who is stalwart and kind of serious and kind of well, this is how we do it. And this person is a good counterpoint for you. This person's a good foil for you. They might, though, at times, Cancer, I'm kind of feeling like these other strong voices in your life for some of you might make you feel inferior. And I don't like to use that. And I want to tell you that fucking, as valid as your feelings are, they are not the truth. They're real, but they're not the truth. Okay? And you would be doing yourself a disservice to listen to any kind of feeling that tells you that just because you have a different area of expertise than somebody else, that theirs is better. We're all different. We're all here to sing a different note in the symphony, okay? If we all sang one note, that would be boring as shit and sound just awful. So we're all here. We're trying to do this in harmony. And what kicks you out of harmony is just questioning yourself as you're fucking going. It's this is just the image that Spirit gave me. I don't know why. Maybe because it's funny and easy. Maybe because some of you roller skate. But Spirit was just showing me somebody roller skating, but looking behind them, oh my God, is everything okay? What's going on? And then blah, blah, blah. Stay smooth, stay going forward. If you have that forward momentum and you hit a little bump, you can recover by doing a little jump. Oh, I'm going to make my bump into a jump, okay? And no rhyme intended. This happens a lot with Spirit. I feel like Dr. Seuss is one of my spirit guides or something. The Chariot is all about making a bump into a jump. The challenge becomes my leverage The friction becomes exactly what I need to get up the hill. Couldn't get up there with no, if it was all slip and it was all easy, I'd be going all over the place. I need a little bit of friction to gain traction. Take it that way. And take your anxiety. There is somebody also, I feel like, that you can speak to about this. Before we go on about this, you have the High Priestess in your reading. And she is sitting in the potential position. I'm sure it is no news to you, Cancer, that you have a great intuition, that you are one of the most intuitive signs. And I would advise you first to seek your own intuition. But I am kind of feeling like for some of you, your thoughts may be in such, so roiling, right? Like churning like the sea. Gosh, some of you definitely have Leo placements because this is also a similar message. To get to the intuition, we have to get past our thoughts, which is the top of the waves, right, of the ocean, like the churning sea, the wind, i.e. the mental realm, the swords, are churning up everything. Oh my God, these thoughts, and we can become identified with our thoughts when really it's like, no, this is my programming. If I'm telling myself that I'm a piece of shit or an idiot or incapable or I'm just not good at that, and that's what they're kind of saying, Cancer, so Spirit's calling you out a little bit. So if there's an area in your life where you're like, I'm just not good at that, like some people are just good with money or some people are just disciplined or whatever, Spirit lovingly is telling you bullshit. Bullshit. Some people had the friction provided to them through difficulty or through, military parents or whatever, so they had that, kind of drilled into them early, but it is nothing that you cannot attain because you have as much heart and as much fucking smart, telling you, fucking Dr. Seuss guide up here, you have as much heart and smart as these other people. Anybody around you, I'm not fucking stroking your ego here. The world showing up as what's available to you, the energy around you, what is accessible. Some of you are publishing or broadcasting your work, your ideas, your message, possibly. You're sharing the light. And if you're not sharing your light and you're feeling fucking shitty about the fact that you're not sharing your light or you're not sure how, now's the fucking time to take the baby step. Look what shows up in your future. This is something good, actually, because the Nine of Wands is that overwhelming, paralyzing nightmare fear. It is actually called the nightmare card because nightmares can seize us up. We wake up like, oh, we can have literal, sleep paralysis, night terrors, like, I feel seized up and I can't go anywhere. And in your future, this is actually decreasing to the Eight of Swords, which is the simpler, easier fear to deal with, okay? So let's talk about the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords on a classical level represents us holding ourselves back, having a degree of insecurity or just fearfulness of an unknown future, that the fear of staying is less frightening than the fear of going. So we're like, fuck it, I'll stay in this kind of like stalematey situation. This isn't the best, but it could be worse, and I don't know what's on the other side of that. That could be victory, but that could also be failure, and fuck failure. Listen, I'm seeing victory for you, but I'm only seeing victory for you if you're willing to throw out the bullshit. Again, I say that with a fuck ton of love. Also, as a Cancer moon, so message coming in for me as well. Just to say, I'm not on a high horse here, Cancer. This is decreasing. This is good. You have the 9, you have the 8, you have the 7. You know what? I think I am ready to let this shit go. Look at this 8 of Wands and how she can walk forward at any time. How she could shrug and her bindings would fall off. They look more like bandages. Then she's not stuck. And there's a kingdom, King of Cups, to walk toward in the background. And what card also happens to be sitting in the position representing where you find yourself? In the very castle with the red roof that we can see in the background of this card. Happiness, home, warmth, community, even like holiday celebrations and parties, wedding anniversaries, that's what they just said. Step up and step over. Step over the line you may have drawn for yourself, Cancer. And there is somebody, like I said, who can help you with this, who can help you sort it out. For some of you, it's a High Priestess type who is like deeply compassionate and quietly wise and can just like reflect the truth back to you in a way that you can actually see it. For some of you, it's that King of Swords, like, you know, King of Swords, you could say, is actually invading my energy a little bit when I'm like, hey, Spirit's calling bullshit. They love you, but they're calling bullshit. Who will be willing to call bullshit on you, Cancer? Lovingly, with your best interests at heart, okay? We're not talking about, like, who's your asshole friend? Go ask your asshole friend what they think of your manuscript. No, I'm saying the discerning friend and the one who is your best interest at heart and will tell you, no, that doesn't look good. Or like, I would cut this part. Or, I think you're bullshitting yourself. Go to that person. They can help you drop a couple of these fears and go on. Get off the battlefield. I'm going. I have places to go. I have things to do. Where do I want to hop into my chariot and go? I want to go where I feel victorious and loved and celebrated. A community. Some of you, Cancer, are like community leaders in one way or another. Again, like I said, I feel like some of you do broadcast or publishing, or you're going to be doing that this month. And we live in an incredible time where you don't have to like have an agent and a manager to be broadcast or published. It's like maybe you're publishing some fucking fire Facebook and Instagram shit. Like maybe you're posting some YouTube videos. Maybe you're self-publishing on Amazon. The world is ready for you. But you've got to be willing, the key, to take the lessons from the past and sail onward instead of hanging them up on your wall and looking at them and mourning and freaking out over them every day. What for? 9, 8, 7, 6 of Swords. Isn't that incredible? Spirit always just nails it. No pun intended with the points and the swords and the whatnot. You've got to be willing to take the good from that fear and anxiety and be like, this is what's going to drive my boat forward. I know this and this and this and this about myself, and therefore that can't get in my way. I know I get, seasonal affective disorder this time of year, so I'm going to get me that sun lamp, or I'm going to make sure I take a walk first thing in the morning and get what little sun I can. These kinds of things. I'm going to take from that situation where I put my trust in the wrong person. I'm going to take that I am going to call a red flag when I see one, draw a line when I need one, move on when I know something is no longer good for me. I don't ever have to repeat those old situations if I don't want to. And if I choose to, that is my choice. Okay? I'm going to delight in finding out where I get stuck, because that's how I can pull the sword that I've stuck into myself and get it out and go on with my life. You know? And where you're going, can I just repeat myself? Looks fucking amazing? Like, what? Happiness, success, accomplishment, and a sense of completion. A sense of like, I am exactly where I'm supposed to be. I'm home, I'm happy, I'm getting what I want. Fucking A, Cancer. You can learn a lot this month if you dive in. Talk to your High Priestess or your King of Swords, or both. Talk to them. Get that input. You're amazing. We 3 kings of Orientar are all here in your reading trying to help your ass out. Little holiday joke there. You get it, Cancer? Get it? Alright, I'm sorry. I love you, Cancer. I hope that this is helpful for you. A really interesting, fascinating reading, and it looks like they want you to finish off this decade with strength and courage and a sense of huge possibilities coming into the new year. 2020, foundational year, right? It boils down to a 4 on the numerological scale. And that is steadiness, security, order, home. Let's go home, Cancer. I love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Please like this video, by the way, if you like it, or share it with your friends. It's very helpful. I'm a teeny tiny channel that is hard for people to find on the big old YouTube. So any little bit of that you do really helps, and I appreciate it. Thanks again, Cancer. And if I don't see you in a video before then I will see you in your happy new year. Bye, Cancer.